Okay. So Sarah has 20 meters of garden edging. What are the dimensions of the rectangular garden with the greatest area she can enclose? So remember 2 days ago when we did the lesson, we talked about greatest area, minimum perimeter. What shape are we talking about? Square. Right, Peter, did you hear that? Okay, so that means instead of drawing 10,000 diagrams, I know that I'm trying to draw a square. So if I have 20 meters to go around the square, how much is each side? Peter, so I want a square with 20 as the perimeter. How much is each side? Let's pay attention then. Okay, Vincent, how about you? 5, right? So I'm looking at a square with 5s on each side. So what's the area then? Eric? 25 meter square, right? So each side is 5 meters, and so your area is just 5 times 5, which is 25 meter square. So the key to this question is whenever you see greatest area, minimum perimeter, you know you're looking for a square. Okay. Number 2. Okay, so first off, looking at this diagram right here for number 2. What's wrong with this diagram? Here, let me zoom this out a little. Okay, looking at the diagram in number 2, just the diagram itself. Alex, do you notice something wrong with the diagram? Okay, it's not one shape, it's a composite figure. Okay, good. It's a triangle and rectangle. More importantly, Emmy, if you take a look at the units, what do you notice? What's my unit here? Centimeters, centimeters. What about this one? Millimeters, right? So the units are different. So James, 60 millimeter. I need to change that to centimeter, which is 6. That's right. Okay, so remember to go from millimeter to centimeter is ratio is 10. Okay, so divide by 10. That's actually 6. If let's say you didn't catch on to that, just by looking at that number, you could see that if this is 9, this can't be 60. Okay, it's way too big of a number. Okay, so be careful with these on the diagram. Well, I tried not to trick you guys. So on this one, I did say watch the units. Okay, on the test, I forgot if I wrote that, but be careful. Okay, make sure if you're given a diagram, check to make sure the units are all the same. Okay, so I want to find the perimeter. Let's go with perimeter first. Okay, I know this is 2, I know this is 9, this is 6, this is 9, this is 2, but what do I not know? I don't know this diagonal right here. I don't know this length. And whenever we don't know a length, what do you think we have to do? Pythagorean theorem, right? It's always, always, always. Whenever you don't know a length, it's always Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so see this right angle triangle right here? Okay, so I just redrew this triangle over here so that you can see it easier. I'm looking for the hypotenuse, so I'm looking for the, I'm using the adding one. Okay, so 2 square plus 3 square, not 6, because I only want half the triangle. So the base right here, if this whole thing is 6, this is 3. Okay, so square it, add it, square root it, I get 3.6. Okay, so how do I calculate the perimeter? Alex, can you help me with adding? So I'm just adding all the outside for my perimeter. So this is the 2 plus 9 plus back up this side, 9 plus plus plus, perfect. That's it. All right, and I get 35.2 centimeter. Okay, again, I've seen this mistake on the final exam year over year. People see the composite figure and break it into 3 shapes, and then they calculate the perimeter of the triangle, calculate the perimeter of the triangle, calculate the perimeter of the rectangle, and then add it together. So if you do that, you actually added like the lengths, the sides multiple times. Okay, so you're simply just adding the outside. So the 5 sides in this case, 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 sides. Okay. Are we done this question? No. Why not? Area, right? So again, read the question carefully. There will be question that asks you for perimeter and area. If you only do perimeter, you did half the question. That means you lose half the mark. Okay. So area, as we said, there's 2 different ways you could do this. One way is find the area of the whole rectangle and then subtract this triangle right here. Okay, or you can find the area of this plus area of this plus the area of the rectangle. Either way is fine. So let's say I do the subtraction method. So area of the rectangle. Kavishan, what's the dimension of this big rectangle? 11 by 6. Excellent. So 11 by 6 is a rectangle. What's the formula again for area of that triangle? So again? Base times height divided by 2. Now let's say, I'm so nervous on the test, I forgot. But luckily, remember, you have the formula sheet, okay? So base times height divided by 2. The base is 6, the height is 2, and then divided by 2. All right, so 66 minus 6, you get 60 centimeter square. All right. The other pointer I want to point out, perimeter is centimeter, area is centimeter square. If you get the units wrong on the test, am I taking marks off? How much? 0.5 each time. All right, so make sure you don't lose silly marks like this. Perimeter is a length, so it's centimeters. Area is the shaded part, the inside, so it's centimeters square. Okay. Number 3 is hard. So I'm not gonna ask you a question like number 3 on the test, but I just want to go over really quickly how you would do a question like this. Okay. So again, number 3, you don't need it for the test. It's okay. I took it out. All right. But just to show you guys how it's done. So looking at this, if I want to use it, that I want to calculate the surface area of this shape. What do you call this shape, by the way? Anyone know the name of the shape? Jason, what do you call this shape? Hey. The shape. Okay, Emmy. Grade 10. Maybe grade 10. But your grade 10 teacher will teach you guys these. Okay, but so it won't be on the test, it won't be on the exam, but I just think that because you might need it for grade 10, it's good to go over. All right. So Jason, have you thought of the name? Something fun. Okay. Okay. Jason. 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 Oh, sorry, not Jason. Eric. Eric. Hexagonal. Yeah. Okay. And guess what, Jason? Take a look here. Oh, it's what's in the. Okay. But why I pointed that out is if you take a look at that formula sheet that I'm letting you guys use, like right here, this formula sheet. Okay, do I see that shape right here? Do I see the formula for it here? No. All right, so next thing you know, I could give you a star shape, star base pyramid, or star base prism, or something like that. So these kind of shapes, it's not on here, but what we could do is break it up into shapes that we know. Okay, so in this case, for the hexagon, I can actually, and some people set, what are those called again? Trapezoids, right? Okay, so some people said break it into trapezoids, but in these type of questions, the easier way is actually to break it into equal parts. So now you actually have 6 triangles. Okay, so for the base, I can break it into 6 triangles. So once I find the area of one triangle, I can just simply times it by 6. Similarly, with this one, if I open it up as a net, I can find the area of one face and then times it by 6, and I'll get the area of all the sides. Okay, so these type of questions, just break it up into shapes that you know and are easy to calculate, like the triangle. Okay. One thing I want to point out in with these is, so what does H represent? What does H stand for? Height. What does S stand for right here? What does the S stand for? Genevieve? What? Okay, Uvi? Huh? Yeah. Alright, notice I'm picking the people who are drifted off. Okay, so H stands for height. What do you think S stands for? Okay, so Derek. Slant. That's right, slanted height. Okay, so how do I remember each? Well, think about when you measure your own height. Do you stand straight or do you lean against the wall? Okay, you stand straight, so that's your height. The one that's leaning against the wall, that's called your slanted height. And let's put those phones away. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Sure, it's always her. Okay, so when I need the slanted height again, if I don't know a length, I think well, that wasn't the first time you heard that. Okay, so whenever you don't know a length, you're always doing Pythagorean. Now, I want to give you guys something easy to remember. So if I need slanted height, I'm doing the C equals A squared plus B squared. You know this is recorded, eh? And then if you need just the height, the vertical height, you're gonna do the subtraction one. Okay, this is gonna help you guys solve so many word problems. All right, this little pointer. So make sure you write it down, highlight it, circle it. So whenever I give you a problem and I don't give you all the dimensions and you need to use Pythagorean theorem, you'll know which one you need to use. Whenever you look for the slanted height, you're using the adding. Whenever you're using the vertical, you need to find a vertical height, you're doing the subtraction. Okay, Peter, you got that down? Okay, I don't want to have to call on your name every 2 minutes. Okay, I'll let you guys copy that down for a second. Okay, so I've been talking for 16 minutes. I want you guys to try some of the questions first, and then in 10 minutes, we'll come back together. Okay, so I want you guys to work on page 26, question 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to come around to help, and then we'll take this up in 10 minutes. All right, so you guys had a good 10-15 minutes to try these questions. So now let's take it up. This one, I went around. A lot of people saw that they had to find this length, which was good. This was the unknown, but don't jump right into it because you actually don't know how long this is. And how do I find out that? I have to first, as my very first step, find out how long that is first. Right. So to find that, since I'm looking for a side length, I'm doing the subtraction one. Sorry, let me rewrite this better. Here, let me rewrite this so that you guys are used to the format. So I'm doing the a squared equals c squared minus b squared. So a is the square root of 16.3 squared, take away 16 squared. Okay, and then I get about 3.1 meters. Now, why did I need this? Because if I know that the whole thing is 39, this is 3.1, this is 24, then that means what's left right here? 11.9. So 11.9 is left right here. Yes. Okay. How long is this dotted line, Umi? How long is this dotted line? 16, because this is 16 as well. So now that I have this and this, and I'm looking for my diagonal, I know I'm doing the adding one. Right? So the addition one. So when I square the 16, square the 11.9, and then square root it, I get 20. When you do Pythagorean theorem, don't forget to square root. A lot of people forgot to square root, and then they got a really big number. So I got this, this, and this. I can add up the 4 sides now, and my answer is 99.3 meters. Now let's say on the test you didn't show any of this, and you get your answer wrong, then you get no marks because I couldn't even give you part marks for it. That's why your test is going to be half and half. The multiple choice questions is going to be on the computer, and then the open response questions like these where there's like so many multiple steps, that's going to be on paper, and you'll get part marks for showing your work even if you get your answer wrong.
Can it just all be on paper?
We'll talk. Okay. Last time when everything was on paper, people got very nervous. Okay. Number 5. This is a very tricky question. Number 5 is very tricky. Yeah, see? Some people noticed they got tricked already. Okay, so determine the height of a square base pyramid with a base side length of 8 and a surface area of 440. Luckily, we are given the formula sheet. Alright, so looking at the formula sheet, it's a square base pyramid, and I'm given the surface area. So square base pyramid right here, surface area right here. So this is the formula I want to use. Area equals b squared plus 2bs. Okay, I know surface area is 440. I know that base is 8. So when I do my algebra, I'll find that my slanted height is 23.5. Am I done the question? I found an answer. Why not? What does S stand for again? slanted height. What am I looking for? What am I trying to solve for? The height. Okay, so remember, height and slanted height is not the same. Okay, so, and whenever I don't know a dimension, what am I doing? Pythagorean theorem, right? So this is 23.5, and then you're looking for the height. When you're looking for the height, you're doing the subtraction one. Okay, where did this 4 come from? Where did this 4 come from? I don't see a 4 in anything in the question. Claire?
Half of the length of the base side leg.
Right. It's always, remember, it's half the base. If your base is 8 right here, it's that's why it's 4. Because the square base pyramid, when you cut it, it's not a right angle triangle. You cannot do a Pythagorean theorem on a non-right angle triangle. So in order for you to make it a right angle triangle, you have to cut that triangle in half. Right? So that's why it's only a 4 to make your right angle triangle. And then I do the subtraction one for the Pythagorean theorem. I get my height to be 23.2 centimeter. How many of you got this answer, 23.2? like after I kind of showed you guys the hint. Okay. So how many of you got the 23.5 and thought that was the final answer? Okay, yeah, so be careful with this. It is a tricky question. Right, so why did I put this question in there? Because I want to emphasize the difference between slanted height and height. Okay, number 6. I don't know if you guys got to it. All right, those who did. So we said optimize prism. Okay, optimization. What shape gives the most optimized area? Square. So what's the 3D shape of a square? Cube. Okay, so you know that you're looking at a cube. So since you're given the surface area of a cube, I'm going to use the surface area formula, which is surface area equals 6s squared. Plug in that 210, divide that 6, square root it. That means, actually, sorry. Let me fix up this. I don't want to use s because we said we'll use s for slanted height. I think the formula used the b. So that means the base is 5.9. Okay, so we'll reserve that s for slanted height. Okay, and then 6b, same thing. You do the same thing to solve. Okay. Formula. From the formula. So surface area of a cube. Yep. Okay, so that's where the 6 came from. Okay, so again, that's why I say I don't think this test is hard because you are given the formula sheet. And I think the hardest part for you guys is starting the question. All right, so when you are looking at a word problem like this, and you know that, okay, I'm looking for at a cube, and I'm given surface area, that's a good starting point. Looking at your formula sheet and just writing down that formula. All right. So once you write down that formula, I think it's going to get things started, and then you will be able to do the question. Okay. So we have about 20 minutes. Keep going. Page. Now I want you guys to try page 27. We'll see if we have time before you go to take up 1 or 2 more questions. Okay, so work on page 27. Homework. Homework is the 27 to 30. All right, the rest of it, so that tomorrow we can take up everything. Your test is coming up.